So, it is now halfway through turn 4. It has been the most brief turn in a long time, actually, that I can imagine. In the movement phase, nothing else has come on, because everything is on already. The one squad of the Death Coptas is strategically redeployed underneath the bridge by Zar the Mad over there. The Storm Boys jumped up onto the bridge. We had a Rhino over here that moved up and around. The Grots advanced to take up position on the front of the temple. That was actually pretty much most of it for movement. We had the Barracuda, which flew back on top of the bridge near the Remoras, so the Tau Air Force is sticking together as best they can. In the shooting phase, the Grots, actually, in a surprisingly effective volley of shooting, were able to take down the Shining Spear Exarch and take 2 wounds off of Illerith, the Phoenix Lord of the Shadow Spectres, and the retreating Commander Farsight was able to finish Illerith off. The Death Dread used its Scorcha to take off a number of Warlocks from the Seer Council of Wolfway. Other notable shooting, the Barracuda was able to kill the remaining Bloodclaw that was with Lucas Trickster, so he's there by himself now, which actually probably delights him to no end. Zar the Mad was able to use his Combi Melta to take out Trazen's command barge, so Trazen now has to slog it around just like the rest of us. The Gargoyles were destroyed through a combination of shooting, mostly the Remoras, although the Storm Boys were able to kill one. In the combat phase, the Terminators spread out in all different ways. One Terminator assaulted the Wave Serpent that was here and was able to immobilize it. The other Terminators joined in the combat with the Stealth Team and the Dire Avengers. I know it would have been interesting to see how it turned out, but Terminators felt they had to come to the aid of their allies, so the Dire Avengers are sadly no more. The Death Copta assaulted the Night Spinner and succeeded in missing it in the most spectacular fashion. The combat with the Green Tide and the Endless Swarm is still continuing on. One of the remaining knobs was felled, and that was about it. So that's ongoing. Over towards this side of the board, the Herodule was taken out by Araman of the Thousand Suns. The Gene Stealers that were over here were eliminated mostly in the shooting phase by the Crisis Suits with their Flamers. There's just a Brood Lord left. The Chaos Bikes were wiped out by the Eye of the Hive. The Scarabs on the back had been shot by Kroot, so there is 1 Scarab base left. The Broadsides did their best to shoot at the pylon and did nothing to it, which is cool. Cairn the Betrayer was felled by the colossal swarm of Hormagaunts, Gene Stealers, and the Tombstalker, but he succeeded in taking 1 Gene Stealer down with him. I'm just gonna try and play that up as an accomplishment, but I got nothing, to be honest. The combat in the back between the Gene Stealers and the Possessed is still going on. 1 Possessed was killed, and the rest just kind of flailed away madly at each other. And I suppose the biggest assault of this phase has been the Seer Council of Wolfway being assaulted by Warlord Vulgrim and a squad of Mega Knobs and a squad of Knobs, and also a Death Dread. The Death Dread was taken out almost immediately by Prince Uriel, and then through a combination, 1 Mega Knob, 3 Knobs were killed, several Warlocks, and I believe 2 Farseers were killed as well in the ensuing combat, leaving combat a draw, so that will be continuing on in our next one. Finally, the Phantom Titan and the Lord of Change are still flailing away madly at each other. Lord of Change was able to take 1 structure point off the Phantom Titan, bringing him down to 6, and the Phantom Titan was able to take a wound off the Lord of Change, bringing him down to 7 wounds. We'll be moving on to the bottom half of turn 4, which I probably think will take longer, simply because I believe numerically you have more models left on the board, but we'll see how it goes. Welcome to the end of turn 4. There's only 1 turn left, and these turns are going by very, very rapidly, as it were. At the beginning of this turn, we had the 1 squad of Hormagaunts return from the Endless Swarm that had been wiped out. And we also had the Eldar, Tyranids, Necrons, and Space Marines used a strategic redeployment. Their options were somewhat limited by the scattered pockets of resistance around the board, but several units that were in the backfield here have redeployed up on the bridge near the westernmost objective here. In terms of shooting, the Barracuda was laid low by the pylon, sadly. The Sunstorm Squadron attempted to fire at one of the Orc trucks that were here, but were not successful in destroying it. Lucas Trickster shot his plasma pistol at the remaining Stormboy Knob and was not successful in doing anything to him. Bjorn the Fell-Handed fired his last cannon at the Space Marine Sorcerer, Zar the Mad, but was not successful in wounding him. The Necron warriors and the accompanying lord were successful in wiping out the remnants of the horror squad that was there. The Chaos Space Marine Dreadnought was destroyed by a Demolisher shell from the Vindicator. In terms of other shooting, the broadsides were eliminated by Wraithguard fire. That was most of the other major shooting that went on. There wasn't a lot. A lot of things were engaged in combat and were unable to fire at all. During the assault phase, there were lots of assaults. The Stormboy and Lucas the Trickster fought themselves to a standstill. The Demon Lord succeeded in doing absolutely nothing to the Phantom Titan. It was not able to get any attacks through its invulnerable save, but Green Tide is still holding fast. They lost an all, but there's still 3 models left. The War Boss, Big Mech, and Mad Doc Rotsnick are holding the line as best they possibly can. Armin was killed in combat by the Wraithguard, although he took 2 down with him. Most of the human auxiliaries for Latau have been destroyed by Gene Stewards and various other types. One is still booting around the board, though. He's got some tricks up his sleeve yet. So there's only one Town Crisis suit left with the XP9s. Sacrificed his drones to get away from combat with the Wraith Lords. One of the Chaos Rhinos that was surviving was destroyed by warriors. Exploded and took several Cormorants down with it. We have a squad of Cal Fire Warriors up there, which is holding against the Tombstalker and Guardians. The Doom of Valentine is still dueling that Chaos Space Marine squad and killed the Space Marine that was there, so there's only the Aspiring Champion fighting. And finally, in the very, very back, we have the Possessed and the Gene Stewards still wailing away madly at each other and doing virtually nothing. That's pretty much it. We have the combat on the bridge here between Warlord and the Seer Council of Wolfway. Both of them have been reduced fairly considerably, although this combat I feel is nearing its end, most likely. And that's that for this turn. So we're on to the final turn, turn 5, and we'll see what we can do in a few hours. When I was thinking about this over the last little while, I was looking for words of inspiration. Words that would let me know that we are okay, that this is possible, and that what we have done so far was right. Even if it hasn't worked out for us, it was right. I found these words. We are ready to meet our adversaries on any field they choose on the spur of the moment, but it is difficult to respond to demagogic accusations of autocracy without clarification of the specific action being charged. It is a waste of time to deal seriously with such vague, idle chatter. The important thing is to let nothing cast a shadow on the issues which have been attacked in the course of these past years. The important thing is to proclaim our position in a straightforward and clear manner so that all can see what it is that they are to decide. The most important thing is to square off openly and solidly on this field, and put an end to all suspense as well as to all the insidious and treacherous attacks, and to extinguish once and for all the hope that one can triumph by simultaneously claiming the 2 principles that are at stake here. Render a verdict in favor of a straightforward, clear, and honest position. Let us proclaim our decision so loudly that no one in the world fails to hear it or risks misunderstanding. Wise words from our 8th Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Arthur Mead. It's words that we will carry in our hearts as we go forward, and hope that everything will be okay.
We're so screwed, aren't we?
Yeah, totally.